The State Commission on Judicial Conduct has cleared the way for former 148th District Judge Guy Williams to run for office. When Williams was charged with resisting arrest and public intoxication charges in November 2018, there were concerns he might not have been able to serve on the bench if elected. But those concerns were set aside when the State Commission on Judicial Conduct withdrew its request for a formal proceeding concerning reprimands issued against Williams today. There's no word tonight on which court Williams will be running for.